Hello everybody, and welcome back. First things first, you're probably wondering, hang on a minute, why do I look so different? I'm back in my bongo cat form. Well, I suppose firstly I should introduce myself if you're unfamiliar with how I look. My name is Shanaha, or Shanaha, or Shaneha. Pretty much whatever you say, there's no wrong way. And yes, today I am in my bongo cat form because, well, truth be told, about, I want to say 30 minutes ago, I think, 40 minutes ago, when I was preparing things for the stream, I wanted to do a quick audio test, just to see the levels for the game audio versus the mic audio, just to make sure that things are pleasant to listen to. And if I did screw that up and it is still a bit unpleasant to listen to, please let me know. But in that process, I was recording, just a little bit of the gameplay, and I noticed that when I played back the recording, obviously when I was playing the game it seemed fine, but I went back and I looked at the recording and things were very, very, very choppy. Things were like lagging around all over the place and all that stuff. Yeah, exactly. Bongo Cat is back. Welcome, Kine. Welcome. The reason why it's back is because I guess my CPU or GPU rather just couldn't handle the VC face, which is the software that I use to sort of project that Vroid model of mine. So essentially blame my shitty PC. I would say it's because of my bad graphics card, but the thing is, truth be told, I don't even have a graphics card. I am using I forget what processor this is. It is a Ryzen 3200G, I think. It is an APU that it's essentially a processor with a built-in integrated graphics. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the integrated graphics it's decent, it's serviceable, but I suppose it just can't handle doing stuff like this game as well as the VC face. Pain, Pekka, yes, it is indeed pain. I remember when I first, like this computer of mine, I built, would have been at the start of 2020, and at the time, it was very budget. That's why I went and decided to get this APU. Because my thought was, it's fine. As long as I have just something that is serviceable for now. And then later on down the line, that's when I can go and buy a better GPU. Right, like, it's a fairly common thing to do, right? People will go budget with the intention of upgrading later on down the line. But, of course, this was at the start of 2020, before the big C hit and things changed rather drastically. We saw GPU prices skyrocket in price, more so than I think even like the whole crypto mining phase back in 2016, 2017, when everybody was scalping up those GPUs for the mining. And I mean, I also thought it would be like, again, nobody could have predicted the whole COVID situation, but I thought it was brilliant, the new RTXs were coming out, or they were just announced. So in my head, surely then the more budget or the older GPUs would have gone for cheaper, right? Like the 1650s, the Ryzen 580s, stuff like that, because those were the ones that I was keeping an eye out for. But yeah, then we all saw what happened, right? But yeah, that's the story of why I am stuck with a shitty little APU. But it's been doing the job. It's been chugging along, so I can't ask for a better deal than that. It's better than at least having nothing. But yes, on to today's game though. You can see here the Finches. I suppose this is a family tree. Today's game is called What Remains of Edith Finch. It's a game that I've heard about but never actually looked into. I know it was very highly praised a couple of years back when it first came out in, I think, 2017. Supposedly a very, very good story-driven game. And I like games like that. I mean, the first game that I finished on stream was Valhalla, and I really enjoyed playing through that. So hopefully, What Remains of Edith Finch can deliver the same amount of enjoyment. I know it's not exactly the most intense in terms of gameplay-wise. It's essentially a walking simulator where every now and then there'll be text that pops up and stuff like that. I will say though that there are narration, or there is narration rather, sorry. But for this purpose of the stream, I turned the dialogue, or the audio for the dialogue, down to a minimum. Because I thought, you know, when I played Valhalla, I really had fun voicing those characters myself. And so I thought, why not do the same here? Whenever I see the text, I can just read it out aloud myself. There's never really any, well, I suppose any text that would be said, there are subtitles. So I'll be able to, or at least I'll try to, say everything that does appear. Especially because I'm surprised, yeah, narration Pog. I was actually really surprised at how many people, I suppose for lack of better words, can tolerate my voice. I remember when I first started streaming, you know, during test recordings, I would listen back to my voice and I always thought, oh my goodness, people are going to hate my voice. Like, I literally couldn't sit through a 5-second clip of my voice. Even when I send voice notes to friends and stuff like that, I would speak and I would send the voice note and I would always feel bad because I thought to myself, they're gonna have to sit through a minute of me talking when I could have just typed it out. And I would never want to listen back to my voice notes. But after I started streaming, people started commenting and saying like, hey, you know, you actually have a really nice voice for when I did the Valhalla streams. And I mean, was it earlier this week actually? I did a collab with Miwa, as well as joined by Guardian Z and Emika Niwatori. We played through, well, I say we played. We narrated the new game called from Nekopara, Catboy Paradise, I think. It's a meme. I want to say it's a meme game, but it's actually surprisingly well polished. Where it's an otome game with 4 supposedly like Catboy waiters, I think. And yeah, so the 4 of us, oh, and Thief as well. Thief was also there with the collab. And the 4 of us took on the roles of each of the Catboys. Poor Miwa didn't have any lines for herself though. But yeah. And people were saying like, they were surprisingly, well, I won't say happy, but they were saying that my voice fitted? Fat? It fit? What's the past tense of fit? My voice supposedly fit very well with the character that I was portraying in that collab. Fennel, the butler of the group. I suppose because there was Dull, who was the sort of super energetic, cool, hyper kid. There was Sage, the big butter, sort of old man, not old man, but the big guy, the big buff dude, like, oh yeah, I'm Sage, oh. Then there was Laurier, who was voiced by Amy. She nailed that actually, because she was the whole seductive, ooh, my name is Laurier, ooh, I'm sleepy and seductive. And then I was stuck with Fennel, the very upright, butlery, everything must be in order type of guy. But yeah, it was very nice to see that people actually don't mind listening to my voice. And I think because of that as well, I've become a bit more comfortable with my own voice. But yes, that's enough of me rambling on about all that stuff. Let's actually start the game. Are you sure you will erase your current save data? Yes. I essentially just started the game around and messed around a bit, just to make sure everything works. But here we are, with What Remains of Edith Finch. I really like this. Is this the, what is it? An organ, right? Funny thing is actually as well, when I did a test run of this game, I didn't realize that technically speaking, you're already playing now. And I was using WASD to try and move around, and I thought, oh, I guess I'm just sitting here waiting for something to happen. And I mean, because the title still stays up on screen, I thought, is this just a title screen? Am I waiting for something to happen? I was sat here for about 5 minutes until I realized to actually, I suppose, start the game, you just have to look down here at your diary. Oh, I think this is our diary. Edith Finch. A lot of this isn't going to make sense to you, and I'm sorry about that. I'm just going to start at the beginning with the house. I lived here until I was okay, never mind. I guess we'll never know. But here we are though. And I suppose that's the house that she was talking about. I think, yeah, we are a girl, Edith. Plus also when I had to listen to the narration, it is indeed a girl. I lived here until I was 11. but I wasn't allowed inside half of the rooms. It's a very funky looking house. It reminds me of, it was a cartoon I watched when I was young, I think like Wayside or something like that, where it was essentially a school flipped on its side. So it was very tall and very narrow. Inside the mailbox were bills from 7 years ago marked urgent, open immediately. What do those look like? A notice or something? Might be rent or something? Or bills? I hadn't been back since my brother Lewis's funeral. Ooh. Another death that we have to live with. In her will, my mother left me a key, but didn't tell me what it unlocked. So yeah, the name of the stream is, well, maybe she thought I'd know. Or she thought that the mystery would be enough to bring me back. The name of the stream is, I hope I don't cry in this game too. Because supposedly, everyone talks about how this game is very emotional. Like the story that it tells is very emotional and sad. And I mean, I started to get teary-eyed at the end of the Valhalla game. Which was, I didn't think was that emotional or sad. But if I got teary-eyed at that, I'm scared to think what's going to happen now. Do I go left here or do I go up here? Let's just follow the path. So hopefully this is... I don't turn into a mess when I play this game. Or when it comes to the conclusion. No one had driven this way in a long time, but I saw a few hoof prints. Ooh, the wildlife, I suppose. The hoof prints. Ah, that's probably what the hoof prints were from. What is that, a stag? A deer? Or is it a doe? A deer. A female deer. The truth is, even after I inherited the house, I never thought I'd come back to it. Ah, so we have this house all to ourselves then. But now I had questions about my family that only the house knew the answers to. Ooh, wow. The house was exactly like I remembered it, the way I'd been dreaming about it. That is one very jank looking house. It's almost like the shoe from that, what is that tale that everybody learns as a kid? That lady that lives in a shoe or something like that? I forget, but it has that shape. You know, the big fat bottom and the long thin bit up there. As a child, the house made me uncomfortable in a way I couldn't put into words. I mean, yeah, look at it. You're probably gonna, if you lived at the top there, I'd be uncomfortable too, thinking it would fall down at any moment's notice. Let's see. I'm gonna use a key here. I hope the key might unlock the front door. It didn't. Maybe look through the mailbox. Looking in, I felt like the house itself had been waiting for me. She says this as if the house is alive. Like that horror... What is it? I think it's literally called Monster House. Let's see. The garage. Ooh. Maybe there's a side entrance here? Ah, there's. A nice little wind chimes as well. Can I unlock it here? Oh no, I'm just gonna crawl through the doggy hole, I suppose. Crawling through the doggy door used to be a lot easier when I was 11. So this is the garage. Let's turn the light on. Oh, never mind. The power had been turned off the night we left. When did we leave, I wonder? What goods do we have here? Okay, I can't really tell. It looks like just general cleaners and stuff like that. Laundry detergent, stuff like that. Some spray cans. Suppose it's very typical for a garage. Paint buckets, yep. Some, what is this like? Lawnmower. Potting mix? Oh, for gardening. Some books. Why are your books in the garage? Come now. Chest freezer. Ah, and then the good old dad's workshop bench. Reminds me of my garage back at home, actually. Although my dad didn't have as much of a fancy sort of workstation. Let's see. Oh, it even has... Okay, you know this is a good family home where it has a... I don't know if many people do it, but that tennis ball hanging from a rope as like an indicator of where the car must park. Hello, never gonna give you up, and welcome to the stream. Hope you had or having a wonderful day. Today we're playing What Remains of Edith Finch, so hope you can sit back and enjoy the show, because it is a very story-heavy game. Think of Valhalla, similar to that. But yeah, I don't know how many people know of this, because I feel like I've only ever seen my family do this. Quite feline today? Yes, never gonna give you up. I mentioned this earlier, but for some reason, if I try and use my Vroid software, everything just starts like freezing up because the CPU usage gets quite high. But yeah, I know this is definitely a thing though, having a ball or an indicator so you don't have to, so you know when to stop in the garage. Let's see though. January 2010. So maybe then in 2010 is when we left the house? For the first time in years. I felt like I was home. Holy shit, that's a lot of books. Is this the kitchen? But instead of a family, they were just memories of one. Sounds rough, man. It's fine. Every now and then, reverting to my feline format isn't too bad. Like how after Lewis started working at the Canary, we all got sick of eating salmon, except our cat, Molly. Oh, that is a lot of canned tuna. Or how only one restaurant would deliver to our house, so we had Chinese a lot. Wow, this is a very dark room. Nothing in the house looked abnormal. There was just too much of it. Yeah, I mean, too many books, too many things. Like a smile with too many teeth. Look at all these portraits or paintings or whatever. A lot of things got left behind in the whirlwind of that last night. What happened on the last night, I wonder? Somebody's missing? My mom wasn't much of an optimist, but she never stopped believing that my brother Milton was alive. So, right off the bat, we already know our brother Lewis died, and apparently another one of our siblings, Milton, has been lost. This does seem like quite the unfortunate story. And is this a door we can enter? No, we can't. What's upstairs though? And all of these books. After Milton disappeared, Mom sealed up all the bedrooms. Oh, okay, that explains it then. Then, Eddie retaliated and drilled peepholes. Ah, so that's, I suppose, glue around all these doors. And these are the little peepholes in the center. Calvin, 1950 to 1961. Gregory, 1976 to 1977. Wait, are those... Is that birth? Date of birth, date of death. Holy shit. That's very young. 11 and 10. Oh. As a kid, I just assumed every house had peepholes and sealed rooms you weren't allowed inside of. This is the bathroom, looks like. I wonder if I can look in here as well. My grandpa Sam spent 7 years sharing a room with his dead... Wow, with his dead brother Calvin. I hope it's... They shared the room before he died. Otherwise that'd be very weird. Sven and Edie. 1917 to 2010 and 1915 to 1964. The last time I was in Edith Senior's room, I was 10 and she was painting my portrait. Let's see then, what else is there? Ah, what is this? My friend Bigfoot. Whenever people ask me about my family, the first thing they will always want to know about is Barbara. I suppose this is Barbara in this poster. She was an actor, I assume? And what's up here? Mom must have locked the 3rd floor stairs on the night we left. That's a very weird way to put that door. But although I suppose an attic door might be like that. I don't know. What is this painting of? Edie's father, Odin, built the original house. Ah, Barbara. 1944 to 1960. 16 years old. Barbara was a child star for 2 years until America grew out of it. That sounds very, very sketchy. You know, having a... Wait, how old was she? 16, being a young teenage star. But then once you get too old, then suddenly America doesn't want you anymore. That sounds very suspect, I'll say. Who is in this store? Molly, 1937 to 1947, also 10 years old. Why is everybody dying at such a young age? Molly always seemed like a girl I could imagine being friends with. If she hadn't died in 1947. Well, yeah, I suppose this is very, very long ago. I spent a lot of time playing in Great Uncle Walter's room. I suppose this is Great Uncle Walter? I think my mom sometimes regretted not sealing it up. Like, guy liked sharks, I think. What is over here? Lewis told me there were secret passages, but I never believed him. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. That's a pretty famous book, isn't it? Or I think, yeah, book. Let's see though. Turns out, my mom was really good at keeping secrets. Now it was time to find out what my mom had been afraid of. Ooh. From the paintings on the wall, it was clear my brother Milton had been here before me. Oh, Milton, that was the one that's gone missing, right? Reading this, maybe it sounds like a pain. But I had no idea what was behind that door. Is this one of the locked bedrooms that we are entering now? Just like I had no idea where all this was going to lead. Oh, this is Molly's room. We're just looking in here. I grew up looking at Molly's room through the peephole. Molly's gerbil had a tiny bedroom with its own, even tinier gerbil cage. Molly Finch. This is her diary, I assume? December 13th, 1947. Dear Diary, I'll be gone soon, but I wanted to tell somebody about what's gonna happen. It started when Mom sent me to bed without dinner. What happened then? I woke up and I was starving, so I looked around for something to eat. Oh, so are we Molly now? Is this like a flashback? My Halloween candy was all gone. Mom, can I come out now? Sweetheart, it's late. Go to sleep. The gerbil food was dry, but I didn't mind it. Ugh. Eating gerbil food, ew. What else is there? Oh, please don't eat the fish. Please don't eat the fish. I thought about eating Christopher, but I held back. Thank you. Thank you, Molly. At least you aren't a savage. Why do I... This is supposed to be like an emotional game, but I don't know why I feel on edge, like I'm gonna get scared or something. He looks tasty. Never gonna give you up. No, please. Please don't eat the fish. Ironic, because yesterday we played a game called Amber's Airlines, where the main character Amber had a pet clownfish, and its name was Sushi, which I feel like was quite on the nose to name your pet fish Sushi. See, in the bathroom maybe? Oh wow, we're really short. I suppose we're playing as Molly, a kid. What's over here? I ate a lot of things that night. I don't think that's very safe to just pick off berries from a random thing. What was that sound? But it must be birds outside. I kept eating and eating. What is that sound of a bird? Again, then I heard chirping outside my window. Ah, so it was a bird. I don't know why this game is making me feel very scared. Like at any point a jump scare is going to happen or something. It was a barn swallow going back to her nest. I reached out for her. And suddenly... What the fuck? Wait, what? I was a cat. Okay, interesting. We are now a cat, I suppose. How do I... Can I jump? Oh, I can jump. Where did it go now? Do we just chase after the bird? I tried to be quiet, but the bird was really scared. So are we gonna try and eat the bird now? How do I get over there? What's here? Mom and Dad didn't even look at me. Well, I suppose I'm a cat now, so why would they look at me? Actually, wait, why am I a cat? What's going on here? So where did that bird go? There it is. Come on. I jumped and I almost got her. I could tell she was getting really tired. Now I was up in the big tree. Oh, I can't jump over there. I promised Dad I wouldn't climb it anymore. But all I cared about was eating that mama bird. Oh, getting close. I gobbled her up. And suddenly, I was an owl. What? First, all I heard was the wind. Then, I heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. What is happening? What is going on? Heard little teeth nibbling in the grass. Wonder if there's something down below then. Uh-oh. Oh! Okay. I was worried I would fly face first into the barn door. Rabbits. Oh, there's a little rabbit. Let's see now. No, little rabbit. I imagined his face looking up and seeing mine through my talons. Ugh, the sounds are visceral. I swallowed him up, and I didn't chew one bit. Then, I flew off to find something bigger. What else is there to eat then? Ooh, I hear a little skittering again. Oh, what's that on the left? Oh no, on the right! A mama rabbit. Let's go for the kill. She was almost too big to carry. I started choking, but I couldn't stop eating. And suddenly, I was a shark? Okay. Shark out of water. They call me Garguda. This is getting really weird. I know, right? Oh my god, I nearly got hit by the car. I rolled off a cliff and into the ocean. Now I was hungrier than ever. It is getting really weird. Never gonna give you up. It reminds me of in GTA 5 there's those fruits that you can eat that, like, I think they're called peyote fruits, where you turn into animals. I wanted fat, juicy seals. Maybe those berries that I ate earlier were similar, like drugs almost. I tore off her flipper and it tasted really good. Now where is she now though? Am I looking for something else? Oh yeah, the peyote plants. Yes, those. I grabbed on tight. But I was so hungry, I jumped out of the water. Am I still a shark? When I opened my eyes, everything had changed. Am I like an octopus? I think I'm like an octopus now, but just that sound. Ugh. I must be an octopus, right? This is like one of my tentacles. Oh, that sound is so disgusting. Now, I was a monster. And I smelled people everywhere. I really don't like the sound of this, like, tentacle slithering. Am I gonna eat people now, then? Ugh, that sound. Is that a person over there? I was big, but I moved real quiet. So, do I eat this guy then or something? Oh my goodness! I don't know why that scared me so much, actually. Eating, like... I guess when I snatched that guy, him freaking out scared me. Even though I'm the one doing, like, the scaring, I suppose. Let's see. Are the people in here? I wanted to stop, but also, I didn't. Door stuck. What's going on through here? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with... Oh, I know the sea shanty. Shave his belly with a rusty razor. Shave his belly with a rusty razor early in the morning. What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor? What shall we do with the drunken sailor early in the morning? Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter. Put him in the bed with the captain's daughter early in the morning. That's enough sea shanties for now. Let's grab this dude. Oh my goodness. Ugh. That ragdoll. Is this gonna be the last guy up here now? The captain. Or the skipper, for better words. Open up that door. After the last passenger, I was still hungry. And across the water, I smelled something new. Something I had to have. So I swam towards it. Now where we're headed to. I slithered onto the sand, and the good smell went into an old pipe. I don't like this tentacle POV. It's very weird. Where are we heading? Oh my god. Oh, this is my worst fear. Something coming out of the toilet. Just imagine you sitting on the toilet and then all of a sudden there's something like reaching out to you from below. Where are we now? Wait a minute, isn't this... Is this not the room we were just in? I got closer and closer. That's Molly's bed over there. Oh, please don't tell me we're gonna eat Molly. Just what exactly are we? All my stomachs started growling. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. And suddenly, oh, it's me again. I held my breath for a long time, but I couldn't hear anything. I think it's waiting for me to fall... It's waiting for me to fall asleep? But it's not going to wait much longer. It needs to feed. And we both know I will be delicious. What the... So... What I'm assuming then... I'm not sure if I believed all of that. Okay then, so... if I understand that correctly, Molly was eaten up by whatever that tentacle monster was. Huh. Okay then. Moving on. Poor Molly. What is this? Pacific Ocean depths. Oh wow. I wonder if maybe it was one of these things. Like maybe one of these deep sea monsters here at the bottom. Okay then. That was quite the experience. Can we head outside now? Oh. This will be obvious later, but my mom never told me any of these stories. Edie would have, but mom didn't like bringing up the past. Though, when we adopted a stray kitten, she was the one who named it Molly. This is the room we saw earlier, right? I spent a lot of time in great-grandma Edie's room. Her room was like a museum. Odin. Real news. For 500 years, the Finches have been famous throughout Norway for their fortune and misfortune. Odin Finch buries the latest victim of the family curse, his wife, Ingeborg, and their newborn son, Johan. On January 7, 1937, he sets sail with his family and his house, hoping to leave the curse behind. Setting sail with your house? What is this? Is this like Up? But like the aquatic version. But 40-foot waves off the coast of Washington send the house and Odin to the bottom of the sea. Odin's daughter Edie, with husband Sven and baby Molly, step ashore on their new home, Orcas Island. Odin Finch is the first to be buried in the new family cemetery. His daughter Edie is already dreaming of a new Finch house. For 500 years... Oh, that's a start. Okay then. Oh, how do I... Ah, there we go. Whatever's wrong with his family, it goes back a long ways. Oh, I see. So this is a family tree then, where Odin is at the bottom, I suppose, or the root. And then there's us in the top there, Edith. Odin Finch joining the great majority. A lot of books. Edie knit me a new pair of gloves every year, just in time to replace the old ones. Lewis died a week before we left, but Edie had already started to memorialize him. Is that a painting on a... what is that? Tree stump. A cutout of a tree stump, rather. Mole Man beneath the Finch house. Edie gave a big interview about a mole man living underneath the Finch house. My mom was furious. Ah, good old VHS. I hadn't thought of myself as Edith Jr. for a long time. A long, long time. Ah, Edith Jr. Lake Trip. Conspiracy, what? What are all these videos? My Friend Bigfoot, Random Junk, Home Movies, and what else is there? CRT Edith Interview. Ah. When Edie told people Sven was killed by a dragon, she could also have said he was building a dragon-shaped slide that collapsed. She could have, but she didn't. So Sven was killed by not necessarily a dragon, but a dragon-shaped slide that he was trying to build. Even in her 90s, sometimes Edie seemed a lot younger than my mother. Wow, this is quite the bathroom. Fancy pink flooring, fur floors. Is that good for a bathroom? I feel like fur flooring isn't necessarily the greatest idea. The only trace Grandpa Sam's first wife, Kay, left on the house was the pink bathroom. It was a pretty big trace. I mean, yeah, this is quite the design choice. Oh, another secret lock thing. There's a secret in this bathroom by Sven and Edith Finch. Oh, pop-up book. There's a secret in this bathroom. Oh, it's in the last place you would look. It isn't in the cupboard. Wait, what? And it's hidden in this book. This is like another workshop. Oh, wow. Sven gave Sam an old camera he'd refurbished. He never put it down. Oh, so this is like one of those red rooms, right? Where you develop film. Very narrow place, though. Oh my gosh, this feels like claustrophobia. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute. This is, we looked into this room earlier. I thought those two people that were drawn on that door, I thought those were actual people and I got scared. Yeah, this is the room where we said somebody was staying in there with their dead brother. Fort Sam and Fort Calvin. I knew Grandpa Sam had a twin. And that he never talked about him. I guess my grandpa didn't like history any more than my mom did. Okay, this is pretty cool though, like a little spaceship. Oh wait, but I assume it's a shrine though. How I Want to Remember My Brother by Sam Finch. The thing I remember is that when he made up his mind, that was it. Oh wait, is that him on the right there? So is that Sam then, and then we are Calvin? Or do I actually have to like play as the swing right now? Oh, I do. I have to press W to go forward and S to go back. My brother said he'd die before he ate another mushroom. And he did. At Barbara's funeral, we swore we'd never be afraid again. And he wasn't. I think Calvin always wanted to fly. Uh-oh. Sam, Calvin, dinner's ready. Coming! By that day, he finally made up his mind to do it. I told him going around was impossible. Maybe if I hadn't said that. Calvin, I'm not gonna tell you again. Uh-oh. Or maybe if the wind hadn't picked up. Oh no. Then maybe he'd still be here. But I doubt it. I think he'd already made up his mind. That's what I want to remember about my brother. I can see where this is going. Oh no. Oh. Oh boy. The day he made up his mind to fly. And he did. Ooh. Calvin's story felt strangely familiar when I was younger. I remember trying to do the exact same thing. And he even has like a spaceship helmet and everything. Oh, he really did want to fly. Oh man. That's really deep. After the funeral, Edie roped off Calvin's half of the room. Okay, but now what about Sam's? Mom said Grandpa Sam enlisted at 18 and never set foot in the room again. Is this another little lock? It's weird. All of these, like these movements of unlocking the doors and stuff, I'm actually doing myself, but I have to move the mouse around for them. It's very weird. What is this secret passageway? The passages were a pretty tight fit. They'd obviously been built for smaller hands and bellies. Actually, wait. Let me go through the end here first. Or should I... Actually, let's go through that doorway first. We can come back to the end there later on. After this. Oh wait, no. This just takes me out to the front. Ah, I see. I assume then we're going to go into Barbara's room if we go through that. To the rest of the passageway. Ah. Yep, Barbara. Growing up, I always thought of Barbara as a child star. Uh-oh. I didn't mean to do that. Don't crawl back in. Also, that's incredibly small to fit in. Oh, I don't like that. I don't know. I don't know why. I just don't like seeing that. I never thought about how hard it must have been for her afterwards. Happy birthday, Barbara. Oh wait, 1944 to 1960. Oh yeah, 16 years old. That makes sense, yeah. Dreadful Stories. Guest starring Barbara Finch. Of all the stories people wrote about Barbara's death, I'm surprised Edie saved this one. Old Jack here with another ghastly tale, inspired by America's Most Unfortunate Family. I'm calling it The Surprise Ending of Barbara Finch. Interesting. As a child star, Barbara was famous for her scream. By the way, that was my desktop that made that like Windows notification sound, in case you were wondering. Now at 16, she was all washed up. A has-been. But in a lucky break, she'd been asked to perform her signature scream at a local convention for monster movie fans. It was just the boost her career needed. Unfortunately, her scream hadn't aged well. Getting better. I think you just need the right motivation. Her biggest fan, and current boyfriend, Rick, was about to demonstrate when. Now that was a great scream. It was Barbara's father, Sven. He'd slipped onto a table saw and had to be rushed to the emergency room. So Barbara got stuck babysitting her youngest brother, Walter. Her convention comeback was cancelled. Okay, I'm hearing frustration, but I'm not hearing terror. What if I tried... A gang of hoodlums in Halloween masks have been terrorizing Orcas Island tonight. Police are urging residents to... That came from the basement. You're right. Also, I loved your delivery on that. Why is your basement door locked? Because my dad likes making puzzles and secret passages. There's a key hidden in the music box. The secret is to keep winding. And winding. And until finally, the key pops out. Thanks, babe. I'll be back in a sec. 20 minutes later, Rick hadn't returned. So Barbara went to look for him. Right on cue. She reached for the music box. Oh, wait. I'm doing this myself, I suppose. Now I turn and turn and turn. And as she wound the key, she listened for Rick. But the house was silent. Oh, I don't like this. Well, to be fair though, this is a pretty cool aesthetic of like a comic style moving around. But I'm about to get jump scared, aren't I? And I don't like it. I can see why she was a famous actor. Actually, I should probably stop talking before I get myself Harvey Weinsteined. Okay, let's see now. Wait. Is his body still there? Uh-oh. His body... I don't think his body's there anymore. Where are you? Where did you go? The hookman had vanished. She listened for his breathing, but all she heard was... the door. I will say, I really like this aesthetic though, like the comic, like playing through a comic. I'm just gonna walk in swinging. Someone at the door was trying to speak to young Barbara. At the door, she heard whispering. Psst, 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 psst. It was coming from inside the house. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Surprise! Bravo, Barbara! You were wonderful. We love you. The monsters had come to surprise her. For Barbara, it was a dream come true. Or a nightmare. Then she saw what kind of monsters they were, and she realized what was about to happen. She was going to be famous. And with her final breath, Barbara Finch gave the performance of her lifetime. Yeah! I wasn't there myself, but I hear Barbara was magnificent. Poor girl, she had a taste for stardom. But unfortunately, so did her fans. Of course, the police blamed it all on poor Rick, who disappeared the same night. And little Walter, hiding under his bed the whole time. He took it all pretty hard, but that's another story. As for Barbara, tucked inside the music box was all they ever found of her. Her ear. Now that's what I call a real eerie tale. What a dumb pun to end the story on. Oh my goodness, and then the ear, the end. Edie told me Barbara wanted, all she wanted was to be remembered. As absurd as that comic was, maybe what Edie saw was a happy ending. I mean, she was remembered at the end. Another very strange death. Where else can we go now? Let's actually look at the family tree. So there's Odin, the big uncle. He's the one that tried to fly or float away with the house. Then we had Molly, Barbara, and Calvin, who are all our grandparents, I assume. There's still Edie, Sam, Walter, Gregory, Gus, Dawn, Milton, and Lewis. Lewis apparently died already, right? Because we talked about attending his funeral. Milton is supposedly lost. Dawn, I don't know who that is. Gus, don't know who that is. Gregory, haven't heard that either. Edie is, I think, our grandmother, right? Because we always mention our grandmother, Edie. Sam was Calvin's brother. That was the one that went into the military. We haven't seen him yet. And Walter, that was the first room we entered that wasn't locked. And also the kid that, I guess, saw everything that happened to Barbara. But yes, let's see. I suppose that's everything for this room, right? I'm curious, is there really nothing else in, I guess now I know why Mom didn't like me playing with the music box. Ah, because of the ear. Let's see if maybe we can see something from Sam. Because I don't know if we looked properly in this room. Let's see. Ah. What? Maybe? No? Okay, I guess there isn't anything in this room for Sam. Alright then. It's funny. All those times I played with the music box, I never found the basement key. What was that sound? So maybe I guess I should be looking for a basement key? But maybe there's another room I can enter somehow. And is it just me or is it also darker now? Let's see. Actually, can I turn the brightness up? Because it does look very dark now. There we go. That's a bit better. To be, yeah, we never went and looked through the rest of the house. We just went immediately upstairs. Do I want to use a music box and find Barbara's ear? Gosh. Ah, it's not there. But let's see if I can get that key. Ah. Should we go through the basement first or? Actually, yeah, let's head through the basement. I don't like it that it's so quiet. Why did it have to be so spooky? Why can't they just be like cheery and upbeat music? Like, oh, they passed away very happily in their bed, surrounded by their loved ones. Sven. Mom said the basement was off limits. Unless I wanted another tetanus shot. Let's see, Sven looks like he was a woodworker. Oh, and now it's so dark here again. I saw Edie sneak down to the basement once, carrying packages. Oh, there's that fridge again. I thought maybe she was hiding presents. I hope that... I swear, if a guy jumps out here as well. Wait, what? Okay. Oh, wow. It turned out she was hiding a lot more than that. There's a whole nother room. Man, it is incredibly dark. It's a whole like a cave system. Maybe we should have gone through the rest of the house before coming down here. Oh wait, what was that line? I remember asking my mom once about where Walter had gone. Oh my goodness, and now I'm behind. I'm looking at like the delayed stream manager video to see what I'm missing. Let's see. If there's a pattern in all these stories, I think it's that none of us has gotten very far. This Walter's room. Why did Walter live here? In like a underground basement. What? Walter. 1952 to 2005. Wow, he lived for a very long time. And all of that stuff with Barbara happened when he was so young. Oh boy. Goodbye, everyone. I can't believe I've been down here for 30 years. On that first day, after the shaking started, I didn't think I'd survive a week. I'm glad, by the way, that I can read cursive. Because, if I couldn't, I don't know how I would have narrated this part. I think this is the first time in, like, years that me being able to read and write cursive has come in handy. But after a few days, I settled into a routine. That's what kept me sane. Having a schedule, living for today. I always expected to be dead tomorrow. But if you wait long enough, you get used to anything. Is this just... Oh, it's peaches that he's eating. Canned peaches. Even a monster on the other side of the door starts to feel normal. Almost friendly. Gulp. And then one day, everything just stopped. Whatever that thing was, it was gone. Maybe it got tired of waiting. Or maybe I just got tired of being afraid. It's been a week now, the longest in 30 years. I'm done waiting. I have to leave while I still can. And what is up with all of these like secret compartments and trap doors? Oh goodness, where are we heading now? I know it's out there somewhere. What's out there? Wait a minute. Whatever killed Barbara. Oh. I see. Gonna try and avenge her. And Molly. Oh right, because Molly also got like eaten by that tentacle monster. I will say though, I realize now, earlier on, Grandma Edie was talking about a mole man living underneath the Finch house. I assume that's Walter. And Calvin. Wait, but Calvin, didn't he die because of like the swing that he kept on going around and around in? Maybe this is all a mistake. But I need to stop living the same day. Even if it kills me. I'm heading outside. Whatever's out there, I want you to know I'm ready for it. I'm going to appreciate all of it. Especially the food. I don't mind if I only have a year left. Or a month. Or a single week. I'd be happy with one new day. I can already imagine the sun on my face. And I assume, since we're on a train track, that the one thing he got to experience on the outside was a train. Walter died when I was 6. I can't believe my mom never told me he was down here. Man. Oh wait, we can go outside. I'm sure my mom was trying to protect me. Hopefully we also don't get hit by a train when we head out there. Wait, can we head out there? Doesn't look like it. I guess we can just open it and that's it. Well then let's head back up to the front then. And explore the rest of the house. Goodness, these sounds are very, very eerie. Aha, eerie, get it? Like Barbara's ear. Ah-ha-ha. Oh my, it is so dark. Let me turn the brightness up to maximum. I mean, even still, it's almost impossible to see. Is it like nighttime now or something? My goodness. Alright, that's enough of the deep dark basement. Let's head back up to the house. It's definitely getting later in the day as I do more of these stories. Even the fireplace had a story. Edie told me the bricks came from the original house after it sank. Can I crawl it in the fireplace? Nah. The table was still a wreck from the night we left. It was like a bomb had gone off, killing everyone, but sparing the furniture. My mom was the only one of us who could imagine great-grandma Edie living in a nursery home. The creaking house noises are crazy. Where do I go now? Am I actually stuck in this game? There's still this room we haven't gone in, right? What is here? Edie told me once that every Finch who ever lived is buried somewhere in the library. Buried in the library? That's interesting. Oh, we head back upstairs. I think we've done everything upstairs though, right? Where else can we go? Attic's still locked, yep. Am I legitimately stuck? Maybe I could have gone down that that chute with Walter. Let's just double check around here though. Nothing in the fireplace, right? No. Huh, I guess maybe there is something down there with Walter. Or maybe there's even something I missed here for Sven. No, doesn't look like it. I guess we'll head back down and see if there's something I missed with Walter's little man cave. Oh my goodness, being able to see is so much nicer. Oh, I had to press space. Oh my goodness. Let me actually also adjust the brightness because now that I'm not in the complete pitch blackness of the house. Maybe she was afraid I'd end up like Walter. I apologize for sending us on a round trip of the house for 10 minutes. But if she never told me about an uncle under the house, I can only imagine what else she was hiding. I don't want to make the same mistake she made. Trying to bury something that's still alive. Now where am I? Out on the train tracks. Now that there's only one of us left, or maybe two, I thought it was time I heard the stories for myself. and found out what happened to everyone else. But now, I'm worried the stories themselves might be the problem. Maybe we believed so much in a family curse. We made it real. Why am I auto-walking? Hey, what's going on? Walter, 1952 to 2005. Why is there a chair in the tree? I almost said, why is there a tree in the chair? That's the other way around. Why is there a chair in the tree? I don't know if I should even be writing this. Alright, because this is all in her diary. Maybe it'd be better if all this just died with me. What is all this? But I thought you should know about your family. You? What? Are we playing like as the like what? So this is Edith Finch's diary, right? But at the start we open this diary as if for every other person right now we've been opening up the diary and then reliving their life. But at the very start of the game we opened up Edith Finch's diary. So are we somebody else reliving through Edith and her experience where she went and did the same thing? Huh. Oh wait, and this is that vent and the history you're a part of. Yeah, she says you're a part of. This is that vent that the monster went through to find Molly. Though, to be honest, I feel as lost as you probably do right now. Yes, indeed, I am very lost myself. I mean, you saw me, I spent 10 minutes going back around the house because I didn't press spacebar. I think the people in these stories believe them for what that's worth. What is in here? Oh my goodness, it's pitch black. I can't see a thing. What else is there out here, I think? And when you look at the house, at that history of imagination and stubbornness and madness, any of it seems possible. This is the backside of the house now. I think we've been surrounded by death for so long, we've just gotten used to it. What kind of family finishes building a cemetery before starting the house? It's embarrassing for me to admit this, but this is a cemetery. The pet cemetery made me more uncomfortable than the human one. That's a lot of pets. 3 of the gerbils were mine, and 2 had been my fault. Sven built the house, but it was Edie who designed the cemetery. Let's have a look. Molly Finch, Calvin Finch, Sven Finch, Edie Finch, Walter, and Barbara. So far we've read through all of these except for Sven and Edie, right? Walter, Calvin, Barbara, Molly. Yeah. Sven and Edie are the only 2. I'm sure Odin's monument had been Edie's idea. My mom was always trying to move on, but for Edie, the past never went away. She could see it poking out of the water at low tide. Is that the house? Or the old house? Am I trying to... Is there something I'm trying to look at? What's happening here? Oh. I can zoom in. Edie said she dreamed about the old house every night. Is there anything else I can see when I zoom in? Or is that it? Oh. And back up, I assume. Edie's side was always easier for me to understand. But the older I get, the more I can see where my mom was coming from. Ah, Sam, Gregory, and Gus. Her dad had been pretty strict, but it wasn't enough to save her brothers. Oh. What was that? It wasn't enough to save her brothers? She was just trying to do better. Milton, Sanjay, Kumar, and Lewis Finch. She lost 2 of her brothers just like I did. I get why she tried so hard to protect us. There's so many things I wish I could ask my mom now. Part of me thinks this is what she wanted all along. For me to come back someday and find everything out for myself. Oh, nice little treehouse, I assume. But looking back on it now, if she told me there was going to be so much climbing, I never would have come when I was 22 weeks pregnant. I see now, we're pregnant. Or at least like Edith Finch is pregnant. So I assume we're the child then that's reading this. Oh, please don't fall. Please don't fall. Okay. Now it makes sense. I never met Grandpa Sam, but I think he and my mom had a lot in common. They were both pretty intense. Oh, so this is Sam now. Instead of hiding from death, Sam seemed to go out of his way to meet it. Like a hunter. Well, I saw his little shrine over here, so let's go and read this. Sam spent his life shooting photos, but Mom said he got nervous being in front of the camera. I guess we're all afraid of something. Let's see. Oh, and there's even a ring up there. He was married, wasn't he? Or, at least, he was going to marry someone. What are these photos? There's the camera shyness. Dawn, I promise you'll never forget this weekend. Yes, sir. These memories are gonna last a lifetime. Oh, I'm controlling this. Am I gonna have to shoot anything? It's a hunting trip, Dawn. Shooting is strongly encouraged. What? Ah, perfect. It's gonna rain the whole weekend, isn't it? I will never forget this weekend, Dad. That's the spirit. Okay, got it. I'm gonna take some pictures, okay? Just be careful. That camera is older than you are. See, this music is nice now. Like some nice relaxing camping music. You're right, Dad. It's starting to clear up. Still freezing though. Hello, Shanna. Oh, hi, Roy. And welcome. You're joining us just in time. We're reliving the story of, I think, Sam. One of the members of the Edith Finch, or the Finch family. It's a family that seems to be filled with lots of tragedies. And we're reliving them one by one. But yeah, welcome, Roy. Hope you're having a great day. I saw you've been working on your pixel art. I really like those, the lazulite ones that you had of Pomu, and Ilira and Vinana. But yes, let's carry on then and see what else we're going to take a picture of here. Definitely should not have drunk all that coffee. Hold still while I take a photo. Hey, that's a keeper. I'm just saying, I'm not always going to be here, Dawn. You'll need to remember this stuff if you want to survive. I'll be fine, Dad. You know who else thought he was going to be fine? Some guy who died. Dawn, I'm being serious. I know, Dad. You're always serious. Doesn't being out here make you want to chill out? Well, to tell you the truth, I haven't been out here in 20 years. Ah, thank you. Yeah. I'm curious if are you gonna do pixel art of the new branch? Last time I was met with my brother, Calvin. Man, that was a great trip. Alright, yeah, Calvin was the one who died. But yeah, Roy, I'm curious, are you gonna do pixel art of the new Ian branch of, what were the names? Selin, Petra, and Rosemi. Actually, this is a good time to say as well. Sam just mentioned his brother Calvin. He also passed away from going on a swing around and around too many times and sadly losing control on that swing. Your grandpa Sven taught us how to fish, how to build a fire. We found an old... Oh, Dawn, don't you think you could find something more interesting to photograph? Like what? I bet if I could remember where that trail was, we'd spot a buck for you in no time. Give me a minute to check the map. Oh, bird. Dad! Good eyes, Dawn. Oh, actually, there's a buck there. Before you take the shot, let me get a photo of you. You want to? Ah. Ah, there she is. I look forward though to if you do pixel art of them. Dad, just breathe. Let me get behind you. Do I have to do this? Dawn, you don't have to do anything. But if you want to survive, you'll need to be strong. Now keep yourself squared up, elbows down, like we practiced. Whenever you're ready. Great shot, Dawn. Oh, look at how cool we look. We even got the cool 6 stash over there as well. Oh, but poor Dawn though is Wait, what? Oh, I'm proud of you, Dawn. We're actually moving right now. Always remember that, okay? Look at how goofy we look moving around. Woo! You spin me right round, baby, right round. Uh-oh. Sorry, Dawn. Just gotta reset the timer. Okay, so you can run out of time there. I can't just dick around like that the whole time. Alright. Let's actually get in place for this photo. Come on. What? There we go. Dad, it's twitching. I think it's still... That's totally normal, Dawn. Just focus on the camera. Try not to think about... Dad! Oh, goodness. guess that's how Sam died. Of all these stories, that's the one I wish my mom... That's the one the most that I wish my mom had told me. Man, to die like that as well, right in front of your daughter. Ah, man. And I thought it was going to be a nice thing. Oh man, you remember this part of the game? Ah. So yeah, so you played this before, Roy? Oh my goodness. Yeah, this game is pretty intense, I'll say. Well, not intense, but the emotions. That was definitely one of the most disturbing deaths for me. I know. I mean, like so far, let's actually look. So we've had Molly, right? Her death was just weird because of the creepy monster tentacle thing, which I just never know. Like, it was the first one, so I was just confused. The second one was, I guess, Odin, who tried to do like the up thing where you move your house. Then there was Calvin. That was him trying to go around the swing over and over. And it just felt bad because, you know, he has the helmets and everything, and like the whole, I want to be an astronaut, and, you know, he wanted to fly. In the end, he did fly. Barbara's was just scary. Like the whole comic aspect of it and all of that, it was legitimately scary. Walter's was also bad because, you know, the whole backstory of him having seen Barbara die and then like wanting to go out and avenge Barbara. But yeah, man, that one of Sam now, it had such nice music as well. Like, it seemed like it was going to be so happy. But anyway, on to the next one. Let's see. Are we in like the roof pod or something now? After Sam died, my mom and Edie got really close. They'd both lost a lot. Oh, what is this? Oh no, don't tell me there were babies that died as well. Ah, Gregory, Dawn, and Gus. Let's start with Gregory. Oh, it's like an official document. A divorce contract. For Kay Carlisle and Sam Finch. Dear Kay, do you remember the way Gregory used to laugh when he thought he was alone? Like something funny was happening, but only he could see it. Aw. Froggy. Am I gonna have to censor something? Are we gonna see something bad? I think he saw things the rest of us don't. Oh wait, I'm controlling the frog. I see now. Bath time's over, Gregory. It's time to... hold on, sweetie. Back to the frog. Whee! Hello? Sam, I told you I don't want to talk right now. Bubbles. I wonder what he saw. Yeah. Yeah. What his world was like. Oh, the duck's dancing. He reminded me so much of Calvin. Lost in his imagination. Oh, okay. Whatever it was he saw. Whee! Okay, this is the best part of the game so far. It's a nice break from all of the sad deaths. Da -da. Da -da 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 -da. Da -da 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 -da. If this is just the rest of the game, I wouldn't even be mad. Nothing but just the synchronized swimming. Oh. Wait a minute. Whoa. Oh, I cannot wait to make this thing jump out of the water. It sure made him happy. I mean, I'm happy right now. Boing. Oh. Give it out. Is there actually something I need to do now, or what? Oh, I can bounce off of this. Ah, I see now. I know how silly it sounds. Oh, that I worried about a baby being too happy. But I could feel him slipping away. Oh, sorry about that, Gregory. No! I know you did everything you could. Maybe if I hadn't called that night. Damn it. Hold on. I don't want Gregory to hear this. Oh, I'm still controlling the frog. I wish he could have told us. Oh no. About the world he saw. Don't tell me the water's gonna fill up higher and higher. Oh no. Can I turn it off? No! Okay, there's so much I don't understand. About Gregory. Oh no. Yeah, I see now, Roy, why you're saying no. What if I just never turned the water on? I could have just been playing as a frog for the rest of the game. You hated this one too? Oh, goodness. Wait, but I know what happened. It wasn't your fault. I can pull the plug. Hang on. I'm sure he's happy. And he'd want you to be happy too. Ah! Oh, and even in the cot are all of the bath toys. The divorce contract, yeah. The divorce contract, because the mother... What is the name? Sam. Oh, sorry, no. The mother let the baby... At least I'm assuming that's what the divorce contract is for. It's in retrospect of what happened with the baby. That's why he said, if only I hadn't called that night. Yeah, you think so too? Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right? That's why he said, if only he hadn't called. Oh, and here's that frog. The frog, the whale, all the little rubber duckies. Ah, man. I can't imagine my mom ever writing poetry, and yet... Let's see, who is this? A poem for Gus. This is a painful game sometime? Yeah, I mean, it's been a painful game pretty much throughout the whole thing, honestly. Let's see though. A poem for Gus, who always said the wedding was a bad idea. Our father never hit us as kids. At least, not very hard. Before the day my brother said, with teenage disregard, that he'd be dead before he'd see a wedding in our yard. Some of the deaths are kind of silly, but some of the others hit pretty hard. Yeah. I mean... Like Molly's, like I said, Molly's one was just weird. Maybe because it was the first one, so we didn't know what was happening. Barbara's one was also... Barbara's one was weird, just because at the end, I guess the whole pun of the story was that her ear got chopped off and was put in that music box, and then the very last line was, "Now that's what I call an eerie tale," which, I don't know, it ruined any sort of deep impact. It made it feel like that was all just for a single pun. Yeah, that he'd never be dead before seeing a wedding in our yard. Ooh, a kite. Whee! What? I can't read that. What? Oh, there we go. I have to flip it around properly, I think. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. Oh wait, it's a poem, right? So I should be rhyming them. My father made him come, of course, but Gus stood far apart, just flew his kite and bottled up the storm inside his heart. I tried to talk him out of it, but thought he'd never met her. "We don't need a stepmom," were the words that I remember. I can hear people cheering. Where are the other words? Let's see. Oh. I can have it crash in to stuff? What can I make it fly into? Oh. Ah. Ah, I see now. The words were stuck on the left there. When the time for photos came, Dad ordered him to come here. But Gus declined and, as a sign, held up his middle finger. The wind picked up, and panicked geese appeared and quickly went. But all the humans did that day was go inside the tent. Oh, I see the words there on the right. And some garbage I'm picking up. The rain came down in buckets then, but no one seemed afraid that nature might destroy the tent our dad had crudely made. Ooh, a thunderstorm now as well. Uh-oh. Wait, a thunderstorm and a kite. Oh no. The thunder sounded much too close and full of angry power, but all my father said to this was, "Make the music louder." Is this gonna be like I forget who that guy is, but the guy with a kite and a key? You always see the comic of the guy getting struck by lightning. That's gonna happen here, isn't it? I wish that... Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Wait, this explains why, Whoa. I wish that I could truly say I thought about you on that day. Out there on the beach alone, just you, the wind, and the sea. But I didn't. Until we found you. So he must have gone picked up by the wind. She never talked about him, but Mom told me once that if I was a boy, they were going to name me Gus. That also explains why, when we were outside, we saw a bunch of chairs stuck in the trees from that, I guess, a storm. How many more people do we have to see? Edie, Dawn, Moulton, and Lewis. Dawn's bed is here, but it's been moved, looks like. Gregory's things. Let's see. Emergency evacuation plan. Oh my goodness. What were their duties? Raised flag at 7:30 a.m. Breakfast at 8 a.m. Quiet time at 11 p.m. Oh yeah, these are definitely Sam's kids. Oh yeah. So these are all Sam's kids, right? Dawn, Gus, Gregory. Dawn is absolutely Sam's kid, and yeah, Sam was the one who called. Oh, Kay. Oh, that makes sense. Kay must have been Sam's wife, because that bathtub that Gregory died in, that was in that pink bathroom. And that was Kay's bathroom. I remember we were saying that that pink bathroom was the only thing that Kay left behind in this family. So yeah. Oh, and that makes sense as well, because when Sam and Kay got married, that was the wedding that Gus was at. And yeah, the whole military routine makes sense now then, since they're all Sam's kids. And Sam was in the military. Ooh, rock climbing. My mom moved up to the loft after her brothers died. At the time, it was as far away as she could get. Ooh, is this Dawn's thing now? Actually, who is our mother? Oh yeah, so Dawn must be our mom then. Dawn and Sanjay. Is that... Sanjay is going to be our dad, I assume then. She spent a summer building houses in Calcutta, where she met my dad, Sanjay. Huh, I guess that confirms it then. My mom moved to India a week after graduation and got a job teaching English. Lewis was born a year later. That's our older brother, right? Why can't I? Oh. Religion was another thing my mom never talked about, but I think it helped her a lot after her dad died. Can I not go out? Oh, there we go. When my dad died, I don't think Mom knew where else to go. I'm sure Edie was happy to have her back. The house had to get a little bigger, but Edie was used to that. And for a while, things were good. Almost normal. Our family history, fact or fiction? Ah, I guess Dawn was homeschooled? Oh no, we were homeschooled. But it didn't last. The beginning of the end was Milton's 10th birthday, when Edie gave him a castle. (1992 to unknown). After Milton disappeared, the only thing he left behind was a room full of paintings. Ooh. Nice looking paintings though. This is actually a really cool room. Like a little observatorium. I don't like this very emotional piano music. The magic paintbrush. Oh, is it a flip book? Achoo! Oh, is it Inception? We're drawing our own thing. Oh, wait, this painting is the one we just saw at the bottom there, right? A door? Ah, where you can escape. Maybe that's how he went missing? Maybe it's not just a story and he actually did manage to make a magic paintbrush. I was 4 when Milton disappeared. That painting at the bottom, that was like a door, right? Maybe we can use that. I wonder if that's a metaphor though. Mom spent months searching for my brother. Then she sealed the doors. Yeah, like I wonder, was that a metaphor that he painted a door to walk through, or could he actually make a door to escape through? Whatever Milton had found in the house, Mom didn't want it getting out. What was it that he found though? I wonder why would he want to like escape though, in quotations? Unless he was trying to escape the family curse or something? Mom definitely blamed Edie, but I think Lewis blamed himself. Lewis, our other brother. After he graduated, he just spent more and more time in his room until Mom got him a job at the cannery. At the cannery? Oh, I don't know why I pronounced it so weird. Oh wow. Everyone always told me to stay out of Lewis's room. Except Lewis. We got a nice neon sign there and some weed, legalized marijuana. Can I enter through here? I can. No, I can't. Or can I? Ah, I can. Whoops. Ah, I see. Lewis's room smelled very, very familiar. That part of him lived on. What else is in this room? Oh, is that a flag? Indian flag, right? He was so proud of being Indian. I think for him, it was a way to be something other than just a Finch. What game is this? Is this a Wonderland? Lewis and I spent a lot of time playing games together, but he was surprisingly bad at them. He died a lot. Looks kind of like a... This looks like a mix of a PlayStation 1, because of that would be the eject button on the right, power button on the left, and it even has a memory stick and everything. And it even looks like a PlayStation 1 controller. Combined with what would it be, like a Nintendo 64 or something? Because of the way the controller looks. And the or N64, yeah, and the like that cartridge for the game. Wow, sick keyboard, my dude. Anyway, let's see. Lewis Finch locker contents. Dawn Finch. That's addressed to our mom. What is this? Dear Mrs. Finch, as Lewis's psychiatrist, I understand your desire for an explanation. As I see it, the trouble began in January, shortly after we convinced your son to seek treatment for substance abuse. Ah, did I withdraw some... Oh my goodness, why is your hand full of blood? Newly sober, I believe Lewis first noticed the monotony of his daily life. Ah, oh my goodness. That surprised me, the loud sound of the blade. He kept working at the cannery, but he withdrew part of himself. In our sessions, I saw the same behavior. His mind began to... What did my man begin to do? What did my mind begin to do? Wait. Am I gonna have to put my hand into the cutter? I'm scared. Okay, no. Oh wait, I'm controlling this. Oh, it's like a game. It's like a wizard character. His mind began to wander. I asked him to describe it. He said he started small, imagining a labyrinth. He'd feel his way about. Then, something moved. Bats. And toads. Oh, what is this? A dragon. And things that have not names. He knew it was all in his head. But he took it very seriously. I had hoped he'd find himself. This is actually very hard to like control the guy on the left, but at the same time do the multitasking of cutting the fish. But he found something more. I worried about him then. Oh, the graphics are improving. We went from top-down 2D into like Diablo style. Daydreaming at the cannery, I spoke with his boss. But he said Lewis had become a model employee. Methodical, tireless, focused. Like a whole new Lewis. So I let him go on. I even encouraged him. It seemed very promising at first. He told me he'd make a new friend. Is that the dog? Hello, doggy. On the edge of a city, he named Lewistopia. He built the city up slowly, brick by brick. Then, he made musicians. And dancers as well, I assume. And songs for them to play. He talked about starting a band. And he was always humming something. Every day, his imagination grew stronger. Well, I'm stuck. He no longer spoke at the cannery. I keep trying to say canary. But his chopping was as reliable as ever. Then one day, it struck him that all the cheering crowds, even the stones under his feet, were all in his imagination. He held an election for mayor. And he won. I feel like that's rigged. They begged him to stay, but his mind was already wandering. It became a game for him. I don't even know if I still have to do all the fish stuff on the side, but I'm just doing it out of habit. He'd conquer a city, then immediately push on. New Louisville. St. Louis. He started drifting away from our reality. What is this one going to be called? Minneapolis. Until one day, he forgot to go home from the cannery. Even as his mother pleaded with him, part of Lewis kept sailing on. That's the mother there in the background. Dawn, our mother. Handsome queen or beautiful prince? In Lewisburg, he heard rumors of a... let's see. What do you want to go down the path of? Handsome queen. Why not? He heard rumors of a handsome queen. And the queen was on her own quest for radiant rainbows. Sound a lot more nicer than sinister serpents. Oh, they're the rainbows. He followed the sound of her silver harp. Sounds a bit nicer. Do I have to hit these notes? Let's see, and then what is the next branch we have? His chase led him to a golden palace, east of the sun and west of the moon. Even then, his logic remained sound. My goodness, all of these fish. He knew the world was all in his imagination. Oh, now we're in like a over-the-shoulder mode now. He was so proud of having created it. In his own eyes, he'd become something greater than a king. What, a god? For someone who'd never known success in the real world, I think it was overwhelming. And then it struck him that the real Lewis was not the one chopping salmon, but the one climbing the steps of a golden palace. Ugh, controls, come on, don't fail me now. My imagination is as real as my body, he told me. It was hard to argue with him. Oh, now we're in first person mode. We're no longer having to worry about the fish as well. Oh, no, wait. Is this... Are we at the cannery now? Or are we like at the actual workplace? He began to forget the world we know. Oh, yep, this is the cannery. What's about to happen? I think it pained him to remember Lewis, the cannery worker. Uh-oh. Is that Lewis, the cannery worker over here that we're walking behind? He began to despise the man with a royal contempt. Oh no. You're not even moving a fish. Oh, don't tell me I have to get up there. I still thought I could save him. That's the therapist talking, by the way. The eye. Even after he said he was being crowned king over all the lands of wonder. Oh. Uh-oh. The palace would be packed with his companions. Can I like... Can I not? Can I get off of here? Uh-oh. Oh boy. Oh, I like the cat though. Including the wise Calico who had insisted on advising him. Ah, Molly. Oh, Molly. Named after our aunt Molly. His queen waited, holding his crown. There was only one thing left to do. What is that one thing left? Okay. Bend down his head. And the rest, I think you know. Mrs. Finch, your son was a kind man who will be missed by all of us who knew him. My sincerest condolences, Dr. Emily Nuth. My brother was really cool. I wish you could have met him. So he was the king of frauds. Yes, indeed. The never gonna give you up. You're right. Lewis, despite having the Indian flag up there, was actually secretly the king of France. Oh man. At least that's what he imagined himself as being. Let's see. The only person left now is Dawn, our mother, and Edie, our great grandmother. Two more stories. Hopefully they aren't too tragic. Lewis's death was fun, I suppose. It was whimsical. I liked the cheery music until we realized he was going to be beheaded. On the way back from Lewis's funeral, my mom told me to start packing. She waited until the day before we left to tell Edie. I'm not sure if she wanted to make it easier or harder. I wish we'd stayed. What was that sound? Oh, it's the packing peanuts that I'm stepping on. Well, but I understand why we left. My mom ended up leaving everything behind. Does that include her diary? To teach, to learn, Dawn Finch. Ah, so she was an author. Disaster relief, Sanjay Kumar, our dad. What happened that night had been coming for a long time. Maybe it should have come sooner. This is our room. Oh, we have a nice little room. But it had to end one way or another. All that's left now is to tell you about that last night. Uh-oh. Edith Finch. Oh, I see. This is the diary. The one right from the start that we've been reading this entire time. Let's see then. That whole last day, Edie just watched us pack and didn't say a word. Until supper when she raised her glass and said, "To our final night, together, and all our final nights apart. Grandma, you know what I said about alcohol? Some of your medications are very specific. Edith, I left a present for you in the hallway. Why don't you go open it? The grown-ups have to argue now." I'm sorry. You're right. We're all leaving tomorrow. Let's just say that I'm not leaving. Edith, you're excused. Alright then. What is that gift in the hallway? The power had been shut off that morning, but Edie always had plenty of candles. When my mom sealed the library, I don't think she knew about the other entrance. Isn't this where supposedly everybody was buried? Oh no. Or that Edie had a key to it. Oh boy. What's gonna be in this library? The thing you're afraid of isn't going to end when you leave the house. Edith has the right to know these stories. My children are dead because of your stories. I think it's best if Edith and I leave tonight. We'll have the nursing home send a van for you in the morning, okay? History of the Finches by Edith Finch. Is there anything else around the corner? Oh, is this her room? So she lived in this library surrounded by books. Ah, there's Odin's name as well. Well, let's have a read through this. Dear Edith, there's so many stories of wish I could tell you, but there's only time for one. This is about what happened on the night you were born. That night, the tide went way, way out. It was the first and last time I ever saw the old house aground rather. There'd been an earthquake out in the middle of this ocean. They called it the lowest tide in 1,000 years. And it smelled awful. You know, I've seen that house every day of my life. But I never thought I'd go back to it. When the fog rolled in, I lost my way. I'm just holding forward and hoping it's right. I got turned around at a rock. Let's see if we can just follow the outside edge. Hello? Still moving forward, right? Yeah. I started seeing things. Is that the deer or the buck that killed Sam? What else are we gonna see? Things I'd forgotten had ever existed. Like a bed. But when I saw them, they felt like old friends. A wheelchair. Furniture. That night, a lot of things came back to me. Or maybe I came back to them. Things I can't explain, but that I need you to try and... Edith, what are you doing in here? It's mine. Edith? Mom, you're gonna rip it. Let go. I kicked and screamed, but Mom dragged me to the car. I never saw great-grandma Edie again. The next morning, the van came to pick her up, but she was already gone. After that, we moved around a lot. Oh, you're doing the cool air, hand in the air thing? We both tried to make the best of it. To be fair, doing that hand in the window thing is really cool. A few years went by. Let me shake this out. Get all the words. My mom didn't like to talk about it. But she started getting sick a lot. Well, the rest happened pretty quickly. Oh. She got better for a while. And then she didn't. And then I was alone. The last Finch left alive. Until I found out about you. I'm still not sure what to tell you about all this. If we lived forever, maybe we'd have time to understand things. But as it is, I think the best we can do is try to open our eyes. And appreciate how strange and brief all of this is. Is this like a heartbeat or something that it's pulsing like this? Oh wait, no. I can move forward. Ah. This journal was supposed to be for you. But now, I hope you'll never see it. I just want to meet you and tell you all these stories myself. Is this me? Am I about to be born? Is this baby POV coming out of the womb? But I guess if you're reading this now, things didn't work out that way. This is where your story begins. I'm sorry I won't be there to see it. It's a lot to ask, but I don't want you to be sad that I'm gone. I want you to be amazed that any of us ever had a chance to be here at all. Good luck. Edith. Edith Finch. And that's us. Going to lay flowers at our mother's grave. Story by Giant Sparrow. For Shirley Dallas, 1948 to 2013. So is this going to be the credits then? Whew. What a way to end the story, huh? We never did find out how, I suppose, Grandma Edie passed away. All we know is that when the van came by to pick her up, she was gone. I suppose Edith, we found out that the reason why she passed on was she started getting sick. Oh, sorry, no. Dawn, our mother. She, because that was from Edith's perspective. Dawn, our mother, passed away because she was getting sick and stuff like that. We don't know what happened with Edith, our mother, how she died. Or our great-grandmother, Edie. What a great little game, short but effective. Never gonna give you up. Agreed, definitely agreed. Like even each of those little, like the mini stories, you know, each flashback to the past, those little stories by themselves, incredibly short but incredibly effective, like super moving as well. Like the one with Sam and Dawn when they went hunting, and the one with poor little Gregory as well. It's amazing how much can be said from so little. Like just having Gregory, like the whole like realization of the circumstances around Gregory, right? The fact that he was in the tub and then just seeing the water fill up, or seeing the mother have to take a call and the water filling up, and then the realization of, oh, I see what's about to happen now. And then like it puts into perspective the reason why his his diary entry, or his story, I suppose, is written on a pair of divorce papers. You know, because it was obviously the mother who left the child unattended in the bathtub. But it was a really effective way of telling the stories as well. Like, especially the one with Molly, like the whole transforming yourself into different animals, which was pretty crazy. I will say that it was a very weird one to start off with, the whole becoming different animals and stuff like that. This is Walter now with the peaches and stuff like that. I am curious though, as I suppose, is it just the family had a bunch of misfortune? I suppose that's what the whole the point was, right? The great-great-grandfather Odin tried to take the house and move away because of the supposed curse of the Finch family. I suppose it was just a curse of bad luck, right? But I mean, what was that thing that supposedly ate Molly like a monster? And then the people that attacked and killed Barbara. What was it that Walter saw that night? Some things were bad luck, I suppose. Like the Sam getting headbutted by the deer. Walter, who was hit by a train. Who else is there? Lewis. Actually, not Lewis. Lewis was suicide, I assume. But yeah, there were some very like weird or unexplained ones. There we are. The end. The replay a story option is now available. Select Edith to play from the beginning. It's fine. I don't think we need to. Actually, this is a great time now to see the entire family tree. So, Odin, our I suppose, great-great-great-grandfather. He died when he was trying to escape by like literally floating the house away from wherever they were initially, right? Edie, we don't know how she died. All we know is that we left her at the house alone, but when the van came to pick her up to take her to an old age home, or a nursing home rather, she wasn't there. What happened with her? We might not know. But actually, oh wait, hang on. In that story at the end we were reading of hers before our mother took it away, she went and she was going to visit that house in the ocean, right? That we saw when we looked through the telescope, because there was a low tide. Oh no, it's coming together now. It was a low tide, so she could walk out there to the house, but obviously it's not always low tide. Normally that house is completely submerged in water. So I'm assuming that maybe she tried to go out there to that house one last time once we had left. I can only assume though. Then though we have Molly, who, she's a weird one. I guess she was like eaten by some monster, sea monster. At least that's what it painted the story as. Barbara, she was, I guess, attacked by a bunch of her fans. Again, I assume it's like slightly embellished, but you know, the whole thing was that there was a party for her, but then I guess the monsters there were a bit more real than expected in the movies that she would do. And so all that was left was her ear, and that's why it was a very eerie tale. Then Calvin, I just hate I don't hate it, but the way they worded Calvin's thing as well. He always wanted to fly, and you know, he was very set on it. If he wanted to fly, he would do everything he could to make sure he flew. And well, he did end up flying, albeit, you know, at the cost of his life. And then, oh, Sam. Sam, who took his daughter out to go and hunt, he was having a very wholesome time with her as well. But then, when they went to take a photo together, right in front of his daughter's eyes, he was knocked off a cliff by the deer. Then we have Walter, who witnessed the entire thing with Barbara. You know, because he was hiding underneath the bed. Apparently, he also knew... Actually, no. He was hiding underneath the house the entire time because I think he was scared of what had happened with Barbara. But also, he seemed to have a vendetta almost for Calvin and Molly's deaths as well. Because he mentioned he wanted to go and find out what it was that killed Molly and Calvin as well. As if there was some thing that caused their... Well, Molly definitely something caused it, but Calvin was just, I guess, an accident, unless there was actually something that had a hand in his death. But then yes, the one time he finally steps outside into the wide open world, where he can finally break away from the monotony of day-to-day hidden underneath the ground, and he stepped onto some train tracks, and yeah. Then we have Gregory. He shouldn't have died. He didn't deserve to die the way he did. His death was purely because of Sam and Kay, who got into a bit of a fight. And at the point where... Was it... Yeah, Sam kept on calling Kay, and it was one phone call that caused it all, where Kay had to step away from the bathtub, and poor old Gregory essentially drowned in that bathtub. Then we have Gus, who passed away, I think, at the wedding of Sam. Or no? Must have passed away at the marriage of Sam and somebody else after the divorce, where in the middle of a storm with his kite got picked up by it, and the thunderstorm as well. Then there's Dawn, our mother, who we found out now at the end there, she passed away because after leaving the family, or leaving the family house rather, she started getting sick, and honestly, even though it's the most simple one, she just got sick. You know, at the end we saw she had her arm with that medical band around it. I feel like just in the context of this past year, that type of death is the most close to home, because it's actually something that is real. From the perspective of Edith at least, a mother passing away from just a sickness, you know, with the COVID and everything. Now, I'm sure a lot of people have similar types of stories for their mothers and stuff like that. Then we have Lewis, who was addicted to substance abuse, but was always stuck in his own imagination. And I guess at one point, I assume he just couldn't take the fact that, well, at least the withdrawal symptoms eventually got a hold of him. You know, he wasn't happy with just being a cannery worker day in, day out, doing the same thing over and over again. And so, as Never Gonna Give You Up says, he decided to become the King of France and behead himself. Moulton was also, I suppose, a peculiar one. He just up and went away. We didn't really find out much about him, right? He just, he was an artist, or at least he drew a lot. And one day he just, I guess, drew himself a door and walked through it. Whether or not that's literally what happened, or if it's just a metaphor and I guess he just ran away one day, we'll never know. And then Edith, we technically don't know how Edith died, but we do know that she has passed on. Well then though, I think that's, well, that is about it. I don't think I'll be replaying any of these. They were quite hard enough as is. So, that brings us to the end then of today's stream. This was a very, very enjoyable game, I think. Incredibly moving for how short it was. It's like, what, 2 hours only? It was very much worth it. I hope though that you've enjoyed this game though, or at least my playthrough of it. Hopefully my my narration wasn't too bad. I did mute the audio for it so that I could do some speaking myself. But yeah, hopefully though you enjoyed this stream and you enjoyed this playthrough of the beautiful moving game that is What Remains of Edith Finch. For the next coming week though, I know my next stream will be on Saturday at a much earlier time than usual, at about, if I remember correctly, 5 p.m. my local time. So if you look at the clock in the lower left hand corner, it's like 40 minutes past midnight. Think essentially 7 hours earlier from now. It'd be 5 p.m. UTC plus 2, or I think like morning time-ish if you're in America. Where I'll be playing, or I'll be continuing to play, a game called Amber's Airlines, which I started yesterday. You're probably wondering, or at least if you weren't at the stream yesterday, you're probably wondering, what the heck is Amber's Airlines? It's a Diner Dash style game, if you've heard of those types of games, where it's a time management thing. You have to click around and, you know, serve people, do their orders and stuff like that. Or at least that was Diner Dash. In Amber's Airlines, it's serving customers who are going to fly planes. So it's things like going around and checking their luggage and all that stuff. It also has a, I wouldn't say a bit, but it has a story to it as well, which is quite interesting. It's definitely nowhere near as intense as this game, but it's fun to read along with. So hopefully you'll join me there for that stream on Saturday. But for now though, let's see. We can maybe raid somebody. Let's see if there is anybody online. Is Glooby actually started yet? Because I know he isn't. Oh, I know somebody we can raid. Good old Disembodied Voices. He's always a fun person to raid. He's currently playing Cyberpunk 2077. So, let's see. For the raid message, when we all show up there, you can all type this. Shanna, hello. So you can just copy that down. And we shall be raiding, once again, Disembodied Voices. Playing Cyberpunk 2077. So that's quite the choice to stream, I think. It's I don't even know if that game is relevant anymore after all that hype. But I suppose we'll go and see. So once again, thank you all for tuning in today. My name has been Shanaha, or Shanaha. Whatever you say, there's no wrong way. And until next time, which is Saturday, I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning in.